Looking around, where do you think we are right now? I'll give you a second. Graffiti all over the wall. Somebody illegally dumped their household trash here. This has been here for weeks. There's even graffiti on the abandoned house. This isn't London. It's not New York. This is actually Tokyo, Japan. As a person who has been living here for many years, I've seen a lot of changes, and I've gotten to the point where I really want to talk about this. So let's have a look around, and I'll tell you exactly what I mean. Now I understand things go out of business. It's tough to make it in Tokyo. This went out of business about 4 or 5 months ago, but look at what's happened since, and in an upscale neighborhood. Yeah. All the way wrapped around. Now some people will say graffiti is a form of art, but this is just drawing dicks on the wall. Like, this is what things have come to. No pun intended. And we have to look at this every day. That was also not there a couple months ago. That one's new. This used to be completely white, and here we go. Here's some more illegally parked bikes. So in Japan, especially in big cities like Tokyo, you can't just park your bike anywhere, but there's a designated parking spot over there, but it's full, so a lot of people are just dumping their bikes here, and it's not a good situation. Look at all this. All these bikes parked illegally here, and it's just, there's more and more every day. Oh, that's an old car back there. All this is completely overgrown. Lots of stuff inside. As everybody knows, Japan is facing a population crisis. There's more old people now than young people, and a lot of houses are going abandoned after people pass away. And I thought this was one of those over 9 million abandoned houses in the country. In fact, there's a lot in this neighborhood, but this one, I actually saw someone is still living here, an elderly woman, and that's a problem. A lot of older people here, they can't take care of their houses anymore. They don't have families to help, so this is what happens. This is all new graffiti. This is all new graffiti. It was not here before. We are in Shibuya now, and of course you're very familiar with the Shibuya crosswalk, which is right ahead of us. But what you're less familiar with is what I want to check out today. This used to be one of the worst spots for it, but now this beautiful mural has been painted here, which is great. This is actually looking pretty good now that they've got the graffiti gone and a nice beautiful piece of artwork has been painted here. Although this is kind of what it looked like before, that kind of graffiti. The price that they had to pay to keep this area looking nice, keep that tunnel from being vandalized, is there's usually security watching around here. I don't see them today, but oh no, there he is. So the price they had to pay to keep this area from getting vandalized is there's a 24-hour security guard right behind me. And that's the only way to stop people from messing this up again, because it was like that for years. And it's just nice to see something like that. But I mean, obviously they can't put security around the whole country. Here is the city trying to fight back. It's even written in English and Japanese. Graffiti is illegal. Apparently, there's a 5-year prison sentence or up to 500,000 yen. 500,000 yen is about $5,000. They're not joking about this. Yet still, right next to the graffiti sign, I see more graffiti. Okay, I've seen that YouTuber. That was a foreigner that put that there. I know that YouTuber. I know that YouTuber. So in this case, it is some foreigners that are putting the stickers on everything. Graffiti, again, next to Louis Vuitton. And then coming over here, every pole, everything, every little box, vending machines have graffiti on it. This was covered up. This one here says, Bunka wo taisetsu ni. Japan is a culture, respect Japanese culture. Oh my gosh, a telephone box. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what is this? You'll still find some telephone boxes in Tokyo and across Japan. It's kind of a relic of the past, but they're still usable. A lot of them are vandalized. This is something else. What the heck? Oh my gosh, does it work? It actually works. I come here pretty much on a daily basis. I have multiple language classes to take, and the graffiti just seems to be getting worse. I've seen this over the last few years, especially around Corona, after Corona. The city keeps coming in, covering up, painting it, and then it comes right back. Check this out. This is right by my Chinese school. I have to see this every freaking day. Whoa. The city actually did come and repaint this whole bridge because it looked like that green wall before. But as you see, it's already back. That's a new one. That's a new one. All this. That's one of the guys that lives here in this park. I just saw him in there. And it's sad. There's a lot of elderly, homeless people in Japan, and an alarming number of young homeless, which was not very common in the past. Welcome to Shinjuku Station. We're now here in the biggest station in Japan. This is one of the places tourists come to visit for their first time in Tokyo. It's a hot spot, but it's also one of the darkest places in Japan. And it's gotten darker in the last 5 years, especially on the Kabukicho side, on the east end. So as it's starting to get darker outside, some of this stuff comes out. Shinjuku Station by day is pretty busy, but you're not gonna see anything out of the ordinary. However, when it gets late at night, it's a completely different story. And there's just person after person, box after box, lined up here. And that's just something you're not gonna see if you're just walking around during the day. But there's more and more. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen people set up cardboard boxes late at night, coming back from, you know, a night out with my friends around 11:30, closer to midnight. And then there's lots of videos of this online, but it's not something you're just gonna see in the daylight hours or even in the early evening. But it makes me sad to see, for sure, but it's there. And here's a lot of the homeless people's stuff waiting here for when they come back. There was a point around the 2020 Tokyo Olympics where they cleaned this up quite nicely, you know, getting ready for all the international guests. It's pretty much back to how it was before and even worse. This is Toyoko Hiroba, and it's all closed off because they want to stop people from loitering in here. And so far it's worked in this area alone, but right back there next to it they have all those people that just moved. there's much the security can do about it because this is not private property, but they definitely don't like it, and this has become more and more famous across Japan. Right after the pandemic, a lot of runaways from all across the country, even really young kids, middle school and high school age, came and gathered here at Toyoko Hiroba. So there were the Toyoko kids, the runaways from Japan, all across the country that came to Shinjuku. They'd stay in the manga cafes, they'd work, you know, not legal jobs during the daytime. But you don't see them so much anymore because it became so famous in Japan that the police had to get involved and put a stop to it. And the same goes for this Okubo Byoin right here behind me. This was insane, and I had never seen anything like this in Japan before. Not only the professional ladies of the night standing out here, but also the amateurs. And it was becoming more and more common just to see girls standing here like, you know what, I don't need to say more. Look, now they have some signs telling people not to stand here. This was so embarrassing to Japan publicly on the internet. Japanese people from other prefectures felt embarrassed. Tokyo locals felt embarrassed to see this online. It was on Japanese internet, it was on the foreign internet, it was everywhere. So now they have all these cones to prevent people from doing that, at least not here. But when I came here and I saw that stuff like at the Okubo Byoin, the standing girl problem, and the Toyoko kids out there, the young kids that ran away from home, I was just sad. And it wasn't like that before. They didn't have that problem before. And even though I don't see it right now, it doesn't mean it went away. They went somewhere, they're just not visible. The police shoot them away. But these things still exist in Japan, and it seems to be getting worse as there's more problems with the economy. Oh, this is a warning. Illegal dumping. All of this is illegal dumping. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who's gonna clean that up. Maybe the city. I don't know who dumped it there either. When I did a short video the other day about the changes I've seen in Japan, the comment section was wild, and I did not expect that. Everyone had something to say about who done it. You know, a lot of finger pointing. It was this group, it was definitely them, it was whatever. We don't know who did the graffiti. It's not like I'm saying graffiti is a new thing. It's never existed in Japan before. What I'm saying is I see changes over the years, and there's places where there's more graffiti than I've ever seen before. There's trash where there wasn't trash before. There's this Toyoko kids problem. There was a standing girl problem. Lots of stuff going on, and it's almost like people also got. There were also people that got mad. You know, I can't believe it. This is not Japan. You're not showing the real Japan. There's too much over romanticization about Japan. I love this country. I love living here. And me and my husband see things, especially in the areas we live in, that upset us. It upsets Japanese people. It upsets people that live here as permanent residents like me. It's not good. I hope that by making this video, someone with some authority or power will clean up the graffiti, you know, as I showed in a few places, that this will become, you know, more prominent. People will know about this, just like the Okubo hospital problem and the Toyoko kids. Like, the more we talk about this, the more likely that we'll see some change and somebody will do something about it in the government. So if you want to see more of the real, you know, non-sugar coated version of Japan, then I hope you'll subscribe and watch more of my videos, because I love this country and I want people to come here. I want people to enjoy it, but I don't want them to have unrealistic expectations or some rose-colored glass view of what Japan is that doesn't match up with reality. I also want to show what it's like to live here as a foreigner and a little more of my daily life. So give me a like and I hope you enjoy more of my videos. There's a whole playlist about the darker side of Japan. If you want to check that out, we're raising money for homelessness, especially here in Shinjuku, and each view helps, and also each donation helps. So enjoy that, and until next time, I'll see you around.